Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome from me, Group Captain Mike Neville. Used to be in the Royal Air Force up until about 5 years ago. I now look after the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. And as such, I am absolutely delighted and thrilled to be here today, standing in front of you, to tell you a little bit about the charity and why it's so important to me personally, but why it's also so important to Mike and my other colleagues in the Air Force who are still serving. Back in 2005, I was the squadron commander of number 47 Squadron, which is C-130 Hercules Squadron. And the C-130 is proudly displayed in the other hangar there. I used to think it was the best aircraft in the world to fly. Mike would have something different to say, because surely he would say the Hawk is the best aircraft to fly. But regardless, I had a crew out on operations in Iraq. And it was on the 30th of January where I got the phone call that no commanding officer ever wishes to receive. Phone call from station operations at RAF Lynham saying, "Sir, I regret to inform you that one of your Hercules has been shot down in Iraq." Now, it was the worst of news because all 10 guys on board, my guys on board, they were all killed. The RAF Benevolent Fund stepped in to help the family out there and then, and they're still helping the families out now. And as Mark said at the start, really this is all about family. So you within the Aston Martin Owners Club and all the people who are here today, you all have something in common. It may be the love of the Aston Martin, it may be the love of the club and the camaraderie. And that camaraderie we really do feel in the Air Force as well, because again, it's all about family, and we generate that feeling of camaraderie and the togetherness in order for us to go out onto operations to do what we do. Now, to look after the families of those men who gave up their lives for the country, to look after other beneficiaries, and we look after 60,000 beneficiaries each and every year, that comes at a great cost. That cost is what I call the debt, and the nation owes a debt to our military, to our Army, to our Air Force and to our Navy, and I'm just delighted that Aston Martin Lagonda, the Aston Martin's Owner Club, Aston Martin Cambridge and Jardine Motors have stepped up to the plate to start repaying that debt we owe to our servicemen. Now, very soon you'll hear a little bit through the video from, I think, one of our most distinguished guests here today, and that's Luke Wigman. Luke was on operations in Afghanistan, doing an amazing job out there with the Royal Air Force Regiment, and he suffered a fairly significant injury that to the rest of us would have pretty much put us in the deepest, darkest hole that we may not have been get out with. But because of what the RAF Benevolent done, and because of Luke's character, he's gone on to do great things, and we will see that in the film. But I'd just like to explain a little bit about the car and what Aston Martin Cambridge have done. So they have made, this is, as Simon says, their third car in the aviation series. It's absolutely wonderful. When it's unveiled, you'll see that it's got a lot of RAF Benevolent Fund markings on, and it's all about a raffle. So I have to sell, and I don't expect you all to buy hundreds of thousands of tickets today, but I've got to sell 125,000 tickets for you to make this a real going concern. I'd like to raise £2.5 million for the charity through the sale, and this is just a tremendous gesture by Jardine and by Aston Martin and by Aston Martin Cambridge, and I just can't get over it. It's the biggest thing that we've ever done in the charity, and it's going to make us millions. But 10 cars, all shadowing the Red Arrows. So when we fly, well, when Mike and the guys fly in the Reds, they're numbered Red 1, 2, 3, 4, up to Red 9. And you'll always see the Reds flying around in a 9 ship. But they always take the 10th aircraft with them, and just in case they need a spare, if one of the aircraft goes unserviceable en route. So they always have 10 aircraft, but we as you know, people who marvel at their skills in the air will only see the 9, but they'll have the 10th. And Simon and his team have so generously donated Red 10 to us. This is a PR car when it's unveiled. The Red 10 you'll actually get the opportunity to win will be right-hand drive. This is showing left-hand drive, but it will be right-hand drive, and it will be Red 10, and it will be unique.